Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a cool knife for you to check out. This is going to be the Bridgeport Knife Co. Bodey. This is their new model, and they're doing a pre-order currently. And I believe this is a prototype, so it's going to be in this unmarked Kubi box that we saw a bunch of earlier when we unboxed the binge. So let's take a look at her. Here it is. This is the Bodey, baby. Pre-order is up 145 doll hairs. So you are talking about a very affordable product here. Let me see what the blade steel is on that. Pre-order 145, rough stonewash titanium scales, rough stonewash hardware, or black washed blade with rough stonewash. Okay, so it's reverse tux or all rough blasted. That's pretty cool. Rough stonewash, never heard of that. Cool. Yep, it started already, and it is in 14C, 28N, and titanium for 145. So there you go on that. We have a flipper in the back here. We have a front flipper as well, which is jimped perfectly. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Boutique brands at it again. When we're talking about these brands like like Bridgeport, you know, these, he is part of the community, right? Garrett is part of the community, and so he knows what people are looking for. We want that jimping to come up and around, right? It is not an accident that someone from the knife community designing their own knives would do that. And that's one of the great benefits of these boutique brands, not to mention great pricing, because we all know that y'all want a deal. So, very cool. You do have the Bridgeport clip there. You have the filler tab, pretty standard for a Bridgeport. Let me, I got a pile of stuff here. Here is my Bridgeport 395 V2. Absolutely a fantastic knife. My favorite Bridgeport to date. Just love the size. Love that flick. The D10 on this is money. And it's got the sort of same build in a sense, right? It's going to be Kubi OEM, can almost guarantee that. And you have the filler tab there and similarities, so to speak, right? Which is very cool. Let's give it a flip and take a look at this blade. Woo! All right, we have a sheep's foot blade, sort of a spay style, reverse tanto kind of blade shape. This cool squared off shaped hole. It's kind of like a shrunken down version of this. Kind of like a pill-shaped hole you'd see from like Voxnez on a f5.5, but more squared. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I dig it a lot. Really cool jimping or milling, I should say, on the lock relief there. It is a liner lock, which is sick. Makes it nice for lefties as well. You have that jimping, it looks like, or something going on the edges. Is that? Yeah, that's milling around the edges of the chamfered edges. That is gorgeous, dude. Absolutely sick touch I have not seen before, I think. Really cool. Very low profile clip. Really reminiscent of a... Ooh, it's thin. Look at that. Really reminiscent of a... Rips Garage Tech clip. My one problem with those clips is they're really hard to get in pocket because they have almost no ramp. So we're going to have to check that out. But this has a similar clip. I would say I prefer the clip on the V2 here, the 395, because it's a little bit thicker, it seems like. A little bit more going on there, where this is really slim, dude. Let's just double check how this felt. Yeah, see, this one on the 395 is good. Let's see if I can get this one going. Yeah. Surprisingly, it works really well. So it just, you know, looks can be deceiving. That is a thin-ass clip, but hey, it works. So I am not going to complain about that. The flipper tab is sort of a tucked away hidden flipper tab like on a Vero knife, but a bit different in a sense. I actually think I like this better because it's more of a regular flipper tab. Basically what he did was he angled it. He made it like a regular flipper tab design, right? But he tucked it into this sort of corner that you have to fit it in. If you're going to do the hidden flipper tab, you kind of have to get it in this area from here straight up, right? You just mill out this little chunk, and then you got to fit your flipper tab in there. That's how you do the tucked away kind. But it kind of feels like a normal flipper tab, and there's just enough room here to get out of the way. It is absolutely fabulous. Holy shit, that feels great. And then you still get that benefit of the hidden flipper tab design there. You can choke back like this, but you guys know where I'm going, right here. And yes, thank you. Dude, Garrett has some absolute skills, man. It's another one of those folks. My nail hurts like hell on this finger, so yeah, I'm not even gonna do it. But the detent feels like perfect. Lefty thumb flick is possible, no problem. Slow roll is possible, no problem. Front flip is possible, no problem. Let's see. Reach around is possible, no problem. Roll back is possible, no problem. Flipper tap. Dude, this has all three deployments that people like, but yet it's kind of subtle, man. When you look at the design, you don't really think, ooh, Fidget monster. You don't think like Kaiser Cormorant, you know, where you're like, you know, just it's kind of gimmicky how much there is on it. No, this is just like subtly killing it with deployment options. This is an excellent knife. Holy shit. The blade stock, something I didn't notice, the blade stock is thin, dude. That is a theme on this knife. He's going for thin and slicey. Flat ground blade, but man, is that thin. Look at that blade stock. Let's take some calipers out here and take a look. We can compare it in a second. So usually I like to get the blade stock like back here. Yeah, 0.11 inches. So 11 thousandths. Absolutely fantastic. The behind the edge thickness, I don't even really need to measure it. I know it's going to be good. It's going to be like 15. Oops. 15 thousandths behind the edge. Your boy got skills, all right? I've handled a few knives. With a liner lock, we are rocking a 0.45 handle. That is absolutely sick. It reminds me to check this knife real quick. 0.46, cool. Yeah, dudes, this is excellent. Size-wise, there you go. It's the size of it. I'm just kidding. Here's the 395 V2. We'll use a stout V2 as a reference knife here. That one didn't hurt. This hole is a little smaller, so I felt that pressure a little more. I knew it was going to kill me if I fired it. So stout V2 size-wise is, yeah, almost identical. I mean, you're talking a little bit shorter on the blade. Probably going to be 3 1/4 would be my guess on this guy right here. 3 1/4. 3. Hold on. 3. There's 3 1/4. I mean, you're talking 3.3, 3.4. So basically identical to the stout in terms of blade length. And then you have a 4 1/8 on the handle. So 4 1/8 and 3.4. So 3.4 and 4.1, let's say. 7.5. 7.5 overall. Pretty much that perfect EDC size people are looking for. Speaking of which, I know some people are going to compare it to the MASH here. And this is a Divo mash. This is one of our first designs. And they are exactly the same size. And that's kind of the large, or I should say standard size knife that we like to do with Divo knives. When we do a standard knife, it's basically that very similar size, you know, and then we'll usually do a mini or something like that. Depends on the model, honestly, but I could definitely see some comparisons here with the blade shape. Obviously, this is hollow ground. The hole shapes are completely different. The handles are completely different. This has just the hole for deployment, and it has a milled pocket clip. We're working on a V3 that's going to be pretty sick, but yeah, I know that people are going to see that blade shape and compare them, so I figured I'd do it for you. If you like the mash, I think you're going to love the Bodey here. I do. I am enthralled with it. This thing is, I'm just going to go for it. There it is. I love it. Man, that choke up grip. I wouldn't mind a little bit of jimping up here. You guys know I love that Vox style jimping. Not necessary, but it would be cool. I love how the jimping runs all the way up to here, which makes sense because you got that handle bit and then the hole. I love the subtle finishes on here. It is, man, it is nice. Looks like we have a full liner in here. So one thing he might be able to do, Garrett, if you're watching this and care at all, one thing you might be able to do is get rid of that liner. Now, it's possible that because of the thinness, they wanted that full liner. But you could probably go to a nested liner like on the mash, where you have just that lock bar. If you look in here, you'll see we have just that lock bar, and then it mounts down at the bottom there. It kind of gets locked in with a tab down there. And then over here, you'll see there's no liner on this side of the lock side. It's just a milled area in the titanium for weight relief. Big old milled area, actually. So you might be able to do the same thing on this. You could use that as a reference, just reference the mash. It might be cool. It would reduce some of the weight. Now, I'm not saying this is heavy. It's not heavy at all. It's fantastic. But, you know, it's just one of those things that you could look at. Man, this is really good. I really like the detent. This flipper tab might be the best low-profile flipper tab I've ever seen. I don't think anybody's actually had this concept before, and I could be forgetting. But most people, when they do these, you're basically the godfather of these is Vero. Now, I've heard some people say that I think Leon Ma did it once before, but you have this inline flipper tab so that you don't have a tab sticking out. That was the whole concept with it, right? But with this type of flipper tab, it's really hard to do. You can't push button it, first off. And the light switch has to be down and back. You have to pull down and back like that. You can't just go straight down. I mean, you can, but it's kind of awkward. And then we've seen them from our buddy Casey at Knives Fast with his version of it, which is very low profile. Same concept, down and back. If you kind of push in there for like a push button, there's no way you're going to do that. Straight down doesn't work either. You have to do a certain motion when you do it, but you get that tucked away flipper tab. Now with this, you're getting that tucked away flipper tab, but you can kind of manipulate it however you want. Now I'm trying to push button it. I guess you do have the same effect there, but it just feels different. It feels more like a traditional flipper tab is, I guess, what I'm saying, which I really like, that it's not, it doesn't feel like a sacrifice, where the other ones feel like a sacrifice. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Basically, it's fucking cool. Why am I bleeding? Like, what? Basically, it's really sick. The reverse flick is money, and the thumb flick is money. Basically, this knife is absolutely fantastic. It's a home run. He killed it again. Not gonna lie, I love I love the Bridgeport 395, but I think I might be a Bodey guy. I think if you made me choose between the two, I think I'm going Bodey. It just has that, I don't know. It just has something to it that I really like. And man, I haven't even really messed with this front flipper, which is fantastic, by the way. Jimped perfectly, located perfectly. I mean, I don't even have a clip. That detent is just so good. I'm missing that rollback. Let's try it right-handed. Let's see. What am I doing there? There you go. I got it earlier, right? I think it's just me having to get used to it. And I am bleeding already, so might not be a good idea to keep hitting it. I guess the detent is a little strong for that move. But, ow, Jesus. What am I doing? I feel like I got this earlier. Yeah, I don't know. Apologies. But the front flip is really good. And if you're not a pussy, you can do rollback moves and stuff too. I think I'm just getting weaker as this video goes on. The jimping's extremely good. Like, it's nice and aggressive. And I love nice, aggressive jimping all around. God damn, dude. Yeah, if you guys were looking for a good deal, if you wanted some titanium on your knife and you only had $145, well, shit. Here you go. Titanium and 14C direct through Bridgeport Knives, or Knife Co., sorry. 145. I'll put a link to the website down below. Great dude, by the way. He's like 21 or something, I think, now. So, you know, you're supporting a younger person who this is probably, you know, this is going to help them. And I think that's important when you're talking about a community, and especially when the person is designing bangers. Like, this is not charity. This is a fantastic knife. And that milling around the edges is genius, dude. So cool. All right, I'm going to shut up. Check it out, the Bodey from Bridgeport Knife Co. Another banger from Garrett. Love you, man. Thank you for sending this my way. I am glad that you let me check it out. I will pass it around if that was the plan. I'll double check with you. But guys, pick one of these up if you have the funds and you're looking for something cool. It is a pre-order. Keep that in mind. But $145, you know. Love you. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.